Do you want to know what the game is? I feel like most of you probably just clicked on this video, just like, okay, what's the game? You have my interest. Alright, so the game is, if you saw the charity stream I did last month, you already know about it, but in case you didn't, the game is a fanfiction game. We all love fanfiction, right? Alright, let me clarify that doujins are technically fanfictions, so we all love fanfictions, right? Yeah, and I was like, okay, now that we've included porn into this mix, yes, doujins are pretty nice, you know, fanfics are amazing. So, this is going to be a game where we create our own fanfiction stories, alright? So how this works, we got 4 containers here, which I purchased at the dollar store. That's not important, but Dollar Tree really is a great source of discount merchandise. We have here a bunch of yellow slips of paper that have anime character names on them. We have a bunch of green slips of paper that have video game characters. We have orange slips of paper that have locations, and we have pink slips of paper that include genres like action, adventure, horror, mystery, as well as with, I left this one out when I did the charity stream because I felt like it wouldn't be very appropriate, but there is a hentai one in here too, so, you know. The general idea is you pick 2 characters, a location, and a genre, and you just take it away, and you create a story around it. And I figured, okay, well, I have these, I made them, you know, I might as well use them more than once, right, you know? So, yeah, let's make a series about this. It might get really popular and rise me to new heights, or it'll fail miserably and I'll just shove it under my bed and hopefully everyone will forget about it, right next to the Final Fantasy X Let's Play and that series I did on all the voice actors. You guys remember that, right? No, I don't either, so it's okay. Alright, so, yeah, what I'm going to do for this first episode, though, is I'm going to take the video game characters one, I'm going to put that to the side, just because I don't know that much about the video game characters as opposed to anime characters, obviously. And also, I included all of the Straw Hats in here, just because I'm a One Piece buff, so that's the main one. We're going to do 3 stories in this video. I think we could swing that. And, yeah, I'll try not to make them too long or too short for that matter. It can't be just like, you know, oh, it's Luffy and Zoro in a coffee shop. It's like, hey, Zoro, how you doing? Oh, I'm good, Luffy, just having a good cup of joe. And that's the story. It has to have a little bit more of intrigue to it than that, but I'll try not to make them incredibly long, and we'll do 3 of them. Alright, so here we go. This is 2 anime characters. Our first contestant is Rukia Kuchiki. Yes! My girl! I wasn't even looking at that. Rukia Kuchiki from Bleach. Alright. And her partner with this improv sketch that we're doing is Jinbei from One Piece, the muscular whale shark fishman. Alright, so Rukia and Jinbei, where are they going to be hanging out? They're going to be hanging out... Oh man, if we get that hentai card, that's going to be exciting. That's going to be different. We got an aquarium! That actually works. Okay, alright, we're moving this along fairly well. We're doing an aquarium. Alright, oh, and by the way, we can include other characters in here. It's not like Rukia and Jinbei have to be the only characters in the entire thing. You can use other characters as, like, background, but the main cast has to be focused on Rukia and Jinbei. Alright, and the genre, oh, is this, if we're gonna get romance, we could do, like, the Shape of Water sort of thing here. It's a thriller. Alright, so, let's get this started. Okay, so Ichigo and Rukia are on a date at the aquarium. Why those two? Because they are the objectively best couple ever, and I dare you to challenge that claim. So, they're there, they're having fun, they're looking at all the sharks and the cuttlefish and the octopi, and they're having a great time, and then Ichigo says to Rukia, hey, want me to go get you some ice cream? And Rukia's like, yeah, that sounds good. So Ichigo goes off to the food court to get some ice cream, and Rukia's just watching the dolphins. And these are the most majestic dolphins you have ever seen in your life. They're jumping out of the water, and they're flapping their tails, and they're just like, they're the happiest dolphins ever, alright? Except for one dolphin. There's one dolphin that's off to the side that just seems kind of bummed out, you know? All the other ones are putting on a show, and they're used to this, but this one dolphin's just kind of like splashing in the water over here. And then, while Rukia is watching this, like she's in front of a fish tank observing this, Jinbei just kind of scoots over. He doesn't draw a great, you know, attention to himself. He just kind of like off to the side, just like, and then Rukia just kind of looks over, and he's right next to him watching the dolphins, and she's like, oh, hi, and Jinbei's like, oh, hi, don't worry about me, I'm just here to watch the dolphins. And you can tell Jinbei, he's like observing the tank, and he's like looking at it, and Rukia's like, do you like the dolphins? He's like, yeah, I like the dolphins. Actually, that one over there, that sad-looking one, she's like, yeah, that's my friend. It got harpooned by you freaking humans. I'm here to rescue it. And she's like, oh, well, I'm not, like, a human. I'm a Shinigami, you know? I'm from this other reality or whatever. It's like, oh, all right, well, I'm from an island at the bottom of the sea. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess we have a lot in common. We're kind of outsiders. He's like, yeah. Want to help me bring that dolphin back to, the sea? And she's like, yeah, okay, that sounds like fun. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I could break the glass. It's like, well, that's not good. I was like, what can you do? Like, well, I can freeze it. I'm like, that would probably leave us worse off if the dolphin were to just freeze in the middle of the tank, right? And then out of nowhere, the freaking doors to the aquarium just burst open, and a bunch of these, like, armed guards and, like, an entire SWAT unit just breaks in and just, like, they're trying to free it! They're trying to free it! And Jinbei's like, oh, crap, this happens every time I go anywhere. Screw it, we're doing this! And he just punches the freaking tank, and it just shatters, and water just fills the entire corridor, and all the dolphins just spill out, and all the SWAT officers just get spilled out, too. And then the dolphin gets on, and then Rukia's, like, drowning, and then the dolphin, rescues her and gets her to safety, so Rukia gets on top of the dolphin while Jinbei is communicating with all of the fish in the aquarium. He's doing this Aquaman style, and the fish and the octopuses and the octopi, whatever the plural of octopus is, I hear it's kind of both, and all of the sharks and everything in the aquarium are just attacking the police officers. They're plunged out of the water, they're trying to shoot them down, and the fish are just attacking them, and the puffer fish are just exploding inside of their intestines, and it's just a mess, right? And so finally, of course, the aquarium is right next to the ocean, right? It's on the coast kind of thing. So the big giant double doors that just exist burst forth, and just this column of water just spills out into the coast. And then Rukia's riding this dolphin, and it catches in midair, and she's like fabulous, like her hair is just wet, and it's like a shampoo commercial, and just dives into the water. And then Jinbei arrives as well, and then Rukia busts out Sode no Shirayuki, and she freezes the giant gate so nobody could come out of them. The water coming out just freezes solid, and they land in the ocean. And Jinbei gets there too with his dolphin friend, and he's like, oh, thank you, strange Shinigami girl, for helping me rescue my friend. And the dolphin's like, everything's happy now. She's like, great. So what are you guys gonna do? He's like, well, I'm just gonna take my friend Daniel here. That's the name of the dolphin. Say hi, Daniel. Kiki. Okay, great. We're just gonna take them back to their home or whatever, and make sure this doesn't happen again. What are you gonna do? He's like, well, I think my boyfriend was getting me ice cream, so I'll just go over there. He's like, all right, that's cool. And Jinbei just kind of lifts her out of the water using his fishman karate, and she just plops down on the side. And Ichigo just steps back into frame and just like, what? What happened? What? I didn't know what. Water everywhere. Ichigo has like a fish like stuck to his hair. Just like, what the? Like there's a squid in his pants. And like, I don't know what's going on, but I got you Rocky Road. They were ratatouille fruity. And he's like, that's lovely. Thank you. And then the last scene is you just Rukia stepping out to the balcony, and she just waves off into the sunset as Jinbei and his dolphin companion Daniel are just swimming off into the distance. So there you go. There's the first story. I don't think that was too terribly long, but yeah, Rukia and Jinbei at an aquarium thriller. All right. So I guess I could have also made that a play on the Michael Jackson song Thriller. All right. So our second story, and I'm just going to leave those ones out because I already did it, so we don't have any repeats. Just put them off over here. All right. So our next epic tale is going to be what do we got here? We got, oh, that's a good one. Another straw hat. We got Nico Robin. We got best girl now. Now things are getting heated up. All right, who's the next one? We got, okay. Okay. Nico Robin and All Might. Okay. The location is going to be, the sewer. All right, well, we can work with something there. The sewer, and the genre is going to be, oh boy, this is going to be a romantic comedy. All right. You might have to give me a minute on this one. Okay, I think I got this. It doesn't start off in a sewer. It starts off with like a Sex and the City kind of opening. We're in an outdoor cafe area in the middle of the city, and Nico Robin is a girl in her 30s that's single and is wondering what's gonna happen with the rest of her life, and she's just sitting there reading a book, and then all of a sudden this villain just comes running down the street, and there's like a bunch of rats behind him, and this villain just jumps into an open manhole cover, and just like, what's going on with that? All Might then crashes down right next to the cafe, and he's like, oh, you dastardly villain! Prepare to feel the wrath of All Might. Oh! And All Might and Nico Robin, their eyes meet, and their expressions do not change at all. All Might still has the grin and the shadowed eyes. You can't really just like, ha-ha! Oh. And then Robin's expression doesn't change either. And right when All Might's about to ask, "Are you okay, young lady?" that's when the rats just all converge around Robin and just grab her and just drag her into the sewer. This villain is known as the Sewer Rat, and his quirk is Rat Pack. It's the ability to telekinetically control rats. And he, like, yells out from the manhole cover. He's like, "All Might, if you want this woman, come down into my domain." And All Might's like, "Oh, you dastardly villain, do you think you could truly stop me?" And so All Might just, the manhole cover is right there, but he's All Might. He jumps all the way into the sky and then, woo, crashes right down and smashes into the sewer, and he's running through, and these, like, giant mutated rats are attacking him, and he's like, "Ho ho, ha ha, hee." And then he finally gets to the end, expecting to have, like, the sewer rat is holding Robin hostage, but little did he know, by the time he turned the corner, Robin is already, like, dominatrixing the crap out of this whole situation, alright? She's literally sitting on top of a throne with the sewer rat at her freaking heels, and, you know, she has all of his arms bound up, you know, with her Hana Hana no Mi powers, and all the rats are just, like, bowing to her because they're, like, terrified of what they did to their master. And All Might turns and sees this, and he just strikes the pose of just, like, "Good job, young lady." You know, and so the love song music begins to cue up again, and they, like, step on top of the sewer rat's body, like All Might just steps on top of him, walking over, and he's like, "Oh, can't breathe, organs getting pushed out of my mouth." And then Robin steps on him too, and they just kind of stare at each other, and they make dinner plans for that night. You know, so that's what I got. I had to stretch that one a little bit, but I think it could work. I think it could work as a motion picture, alright? You could do something with that, alright. So, our last story of the evening is going to be... I think if I could get through that one, I can get through any of these, because that was a hard one to come up with. Alright, here we go. Our first character is going to be Franky. I love how we're getting straw hats for each one of these. That works perfectly. As long as we don't get 2 straw hats, because then it's, I mean, we could do it. It's just, you know, it's easier if it's from 2 different series. Alright, what is this one? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. That needs to play for the sewer one. And, oh, Franky and Natsu Dragneel from Fairy Tail. Alright, we got that. And they're gonna be hanging out. I hope it's somewhere super. Hope it's somewhere super here. Alright, they're gonna be hanging out at a park. Okay, so just a park. It could be anything. It could be a park in the middle of the city. It could be like a park, like a dog park. It could be any kind of park. Okay, and the genre is gonna be... Please don't be... Okay, we pulled the hentai card. Alright, first off, kids... We've all had fun here tonight with our romantic comedies and our aquarium thrillers, but... If you're under 18, it's time for you to hit the sack. It's getting pretty late. It's like 8:50. Your bedtime, my bedtime when I was growing up was 9 o'clock sharp. So it's time to go to bed, kids, alright? Alright, are they all gone? Are they all in bed? Okay, now look. Yaoi is not my specialty, but I'm just gonna shotgun this and I'll try my best. Okay, so... we start off in the park, and it's a nice day out, and Franky is jogging. You gotta stay physically fit. Even though you're a cyborg, you gotta stay physically fit, right? Instead of having bottles of water, though, he just has bottles of cola. And he's just like, glug, glug, glug. Okay, that's cool, you know? He has like a sweatband on his head and shit, like a jogging shirt, and he's just running, right? And then, Natsu is also training in the park, with Happy, right? And they're just doing simple things, you know, like push-ups and stuff, whatever. And then off to the side, they hear that, an old lady's like, "Help! Someone stole my purse!" And then this guy, you know, the basic thief dude, just grabs the purse and just starts running off. And Franky and Natsu both respond to this at the same time, and they just go overkill with this. Like, he's like, "Oh, someone stole his purse! Franky missile!" And then Natsu's like, "Flame Dragon King Extermination Fist!" And it is the boom, boom, and this purse snatcher just gets incinerated on the spot with, like, RPGs and, like, the flames of hell, and just... and then the purse just kind of flies off, and then Happy jumps up in the air and grabs it, and he's like, here you go, lady. And so Natsu and Franky meet each other, right? And they're like, wow, that was so cool. How did you do that? How did you fire you have like missile magic? I don't know, is that a thing? And Franky's like, no, I'm no wizard. I'm a cyborg, you know? And I think there are cyborgs in Fairy Tail. I think one of the members of the Spriggan 12 was a cyborg, so he might have, like, Natsu might have some perspective for this. And he's like, that's awesome! He's like, yeah, I know. But it isn't like any ordinary cyborg. I guarantee you, I'm the kind of cyborg you've never seen before. And he's like, wow, what kind of cyborg are you? He's like, I'm a hentai cyborg. See, hentai in Japanese just means like perverted, right? And so Franky, you could just say, oh, he's a pervert, he's into hentai, that kind of context of hentai. Ha! You thought this was going to result in a sexual fantasy where Franky and Natsu right in the middle of the park just start over and over and over, and they just... No, good sir. There is nothing like that in this story. They simply stay in the park, on the bench, and they just talk to each other about the battles they've been in, and Franky's body, he's showing them off all of his weapons and things, and then Natsu goes home at the end of the day wanting to be a robot. He's like, maybe Happy, maybe we can add some cybernetic enhancements to my arm or something. And Happy's like, I think I'm a robot in like a parallel universe in another reality where your hair is black and it takes place in space. It's like, oh, that's cool. What are you doing? Like, I think I turn into a pair of guns, but I'm not 100% sure on that. He's like, oh, well, whatever. I'm getting like a robot hand that I can like shoot like a giant pillar of fire out of. He's like, can't you do that already? He's like, yeah, but it'll be robotic. It's like, awesome. And then they just walk off into the sunset. All right, so I'm sure that was everything that you thought it was going to be, and more. Alright, so I don't know if this was a good thing or not, or if it was just a waste of my time, but I had fun. Did you have fun? I had fun with this, so let me know if you like this. We can do more. I can always add some more characters and things to the batch to spice it up a little bit. I still have the the video game characters I decided not to do because I'm not as well versed with a lot of those. But yeah, that's the fan fiction Sundays. I guess I could call it fan fiction Fridays, but alliteration can kind of go suck a dick, so we're just going to keep it with this. All right, so have a great night, everybody!